Hi everyone. So, excuse the hair and everything. I am not feeling very well. And for days now, I have been like, I need to do this vlog and putting it off and putting it off and putting it off because I'm just not feeling well. And today I was like, you know what? Screw it. This needs to be talked about. And regardless, threw my hair up and here we are. So, what we're going to talk about is what caused my. First, I'm going to use myself. Hi, everybody. Hi, Norberto. What I'm going to talk about is the cause of homelessness, what caused my homelessness, and kind of the perceptions behind that, drivers. And one question that I was asked so many times, thank you, is that what caused your homelessness? And I was left grasping for like one reason, one cause. And a lot of it was like, okay, brain injury or leaving my ex-husband's house or mental illness or physical illness or leaving my half-sisters to come to Seattle to get help and get help for my brain injury. And the thing is anytime we're looking at a single cause, we're missing the whole point. And the reason for this is there are usually, well, almost always, drivers long before that that lead to homelessness. And for example, if you look at just myself and my situation, there has been a history of chronic homelessness. For example, as a child, the first time I remember being homeless, I was either 8 or 9. And, a church was putting us up in a motel, and I remember eating Pop-Tarts for like a week because we had no food, due to, abuse and addiction in the home and, you know, lack of familial cohesion and other things. So you go back to that and you go back to, okay, childhood trauma, which leads you to, not only, mental ailments, which, result in complex PTSD. I battle bipolar, major depressive disorder, cognitive issues due to the traumatic brain injury. I'm not going to go into like every single one, but there are numerous ones. You know, and then you move on, and then you go to foster care, and then you go to homelessness as a teenager and as a runaway, and then you go to you know later on being having to be in a domestic violence shelter with a baby for a little while, and then you know later on being on the verge of homelessness as an adult with children, and working through that. Luckily, I was not homeless with my children. I was blessed. Until like later with my son in Seattle. But the thing is we ask people what caused your homelessness, and a lot of and everybody goes to one event. And even if it is like a flood that took your home, it's due to environmental drivers. The fact that we didn't care about climate change, fast enough, or the fact that, in Hurricane Harvey, we had landlords charging people rent after their homes were destroyed. And now they have an eviction on their record and they can't rent anymore. And then we put it down as they're not displaced, but now they're homeless. And, then their credit's destroyed. So you can ask them what caused your homelessness, and they're going to tell you a flood. But we've got a whole lot of drivers right there. You look at a physical ailment that leads to homelessness, and you look at our healthcare system. Well, there's a driver, it leads to so much more. And I'm learning, and as I educate others, I'm educating myself, and I'm learning that if we had early intervention, so many of these problems would be solved. Early intervention and learning about the drivers that lead to chronic homelessness, lead to displacement. You know, at this time, we can pretty much predict displacement in drivers. And there's no reason when people are in crisis situations to victimize them further. And as I've gone on and I realized, you know, that there is no a single event that, you know, necessarily causes homelessness. However, there are numerous events that lead to long-lived homelessness, long-lived displacement. And that's what we have to fix. The thing is anyone can lose their habitat. How long and how often that happens, we can intervene in that, and we can help that not happen. You see what I'm saying? Okay. I guess that's really what I wanted to say is when people ask me, how did you become homeless? When I think about it, there really is a lot of events that lead to a whole lot that leads to chronic homelessness and being unable to pull yourself up out of it. And right now I am homed. And luckily, I have a wonderful medical support team that is keeping me homed. And that's the important thing. It's not just getting people homed, but keeping them homed, especially after significant trauma. And when it's long-lived trauma and long-lasting trauma, it takes a minute. So just remember that, and really, if you're really into educating people, look at those drivers. Look at how our costs rise when we don't address early intervention, healthcare, education. Address those drivers, and we'll start addressing solutions. Okay? So everybody, have a wonderful day. And if you like my channel, like and subscribe. And please share. Let's get those messages across. And, before I forget, I want to have a shout out. Shelly asked me to have a shout out, and I forgot a couple people, but I also wanted to shout out to Shanika, who sent donations, to Anonymous Donor, who sent donations, to David R., who sent your donation. Thank you so very much. We were able to do some amazing things this week, and I'm just really, really thrilled. There is a newly home family with a baby that we were able to provide with some gas to get back and forth to a job. We were able to provide household supplies to a newly home family. We were able to provide supplies to some homeless individuals. I mean, it's just, seriously, even though this week has been difficult for me on a personal level because of some medical difficulties I've been going through, it's been a very productive week, and I'm really thrilled about the differences that we're making in others' lives, and that's got me psyched. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you, and I believe I just got asked what phone I had, and it's a Samsung, and I don't remember what kind. It's an S something. But I can tell you later. But anyway, everybody have a great day, and I'm gonna sign out now and say goodbye. Bye.